Tangerine is a drama film comedy about Cindy. She is a trans prostitute who was in jail for 28 days. However, when they are released, they find out that her pimp is, or their pimp is basically cheated on her, and her best friend Alexandra tells her. So the two of them decide on Christmas Eve to go find this pimp of hers and give him, you know, a thrashing for being unfaithful. So it's about the two of them essentially just going out on the town, getting involved in all sorts of shenanigans. And I don't know how realistic some of the situations are. This one feels like the most vapid and shallow of Sean Baker's films, but is also famous for being filmed entirely with an iPhone and a special lens. So a lot of people were calling it an indie darling because of what you could do. And there's some interesting camera angles, but overall it's mostly just guerrilla filmmaking, following people walking around. They film in a donut shop for the climax in the beginning. So it's very low in budget, obviously, and the acting's pretty decent. It's simple. It's just newcomers. Sean Baker likes to grab new people who've never been in a film before and give them a shot. So sometimes the acting isn't always amazing, but it really explores a really weird world of streetwalkers. You know, ever since he started these exploring sex workers in his films, he's sort of explored a different facet of each part of sex workers. So his first would be porn stars, female, and then this one would be streetwalkers but trans, and then he would do Florida Project was just female escorts, and then he also had porn star but male, and then with his newest film Honora he had female strippers also who doing tricks and stuff like that. So this one explores the street walking aspect of it, and you know, there's also another half of the movie that feels a little bit different. It's Karen Karagulian again, but he plays Razmik. He is cab driver, Armenian cab driver with a family, likes to partake in the trans community prostitutes at a certain part of town, and his family doesn't know, and he wants to ditch them on Christmas Eve and go get his fix. However, it ends up having a overblown sort of finale at the donut shop, and it feels a little bit disjointed throughout the film, but they finally find a way to keep everything together. And honestly, the movie doesn't have much of a story. It's more of a squabble between characters, and what people do to each other, how people treat each other is sort of the main theme. So at least the movie keeps that in regard. And there's also another small subplot involving Dinah, which is pretty funny too. She's pretty funny. But overall, Tangerine is just okay. I think it needed a better tightening of the plot. It's very short, but it's definitely, you know, different in vibe in terms of his other films. It's got less. It's more about screaming at people and getting in fights than it is the heart of the matter. So Tangerine's interesting, and I gave it a 6 out of 10.